Okay, guys, welcome to part two here of using Schoolwork on My Big Campus. The goal of this video here is going to be to show you, now that you know how to create and assign schoolwork, what happens once the students start to submit the work. And so that's what we're going to take a look at as far as what grading looks like, and then also to how it integrates in with your gradebook via PowerSchool. So I'm going to run through real quickly one thing before I really get into showing you what the grading looks like. If you remember correctly from the first video that I showed you, when you create schoolwork here, we went through and did the create new schoolwork using the new interface. So one of the problems, if you are going to want to take the work, grade it on My Big Campus, and then export it into PowerSchool, that we had in the old interface was right here where it says kind of assignment. You can see that there are a lot of different options here. These options are not available on the new interface. It was three options. It was graded, practice, or anonymous. The problem with the old interface was there were only three options here that were available to be exported into PowerSchool. It was assignment, assessment, and I believe quiz. If you chose any of these down here at the bottom, they were not available to be exported into PowerSchool. So I am assuming, because I have not gotten an answer back from My Big Campus yet, that when you go to the new interface, as long as you have selected graded, it will export into PowerSchool. I don't know that for 100% certainty, but I'm assuming, since they've narrowed it down to just these three options for the type of work, that they've gone ahead and consolidated everything into the graded option there. So if you're using the new interface and you select graded, I'm going to operate on the assumption that it will allow you to export that type of assignment into PowerSchool. If I hear something different, of course, I'll let you guys know via an email. So going back here, and going into the needs grading, so up here at the top it says view needs grading in the new schoolwork interface. I'm going to continue to operate out of that environment. You'll get a timeline, and this is from early on last year in my computer applications class, but this is what it will look like. As you start to assign work, you will see each time you've created something on a day, what has been assigned, who has done it, what the title of the assignment is. Over here, this will give you the option to grade the work, and then you can also see who all you're awaiting submissions from, or at least the total number right here. So we're going to kind of walk through what the different looks are here. So again, if I click on the assignment first, this was something that I created at the end of Unit 1 last year. You can see that I've got all the students that were in the group, the 7th grade computer apps group. I put the whole 7th grade in. I did not go through and pick my classes. I just put all students into one big group. For that, it's up to you if you want to build your groups out in individual periods, or if you want to leave the entire class in. For elementary and middle school levels, that might be a little bit easier to do. For your high school classes, you may want to build out your individual periods, especially if you have to prep for 2 or 3 different courses. So you can see the name of the student, the date it was submitted, and then the results that they got. Okay, so this is what you get when you click on the assignment. Okay, if I go back and I come over here to this grade now, this is going to take me to a little bit of a different look. Okay, so what this is up here at the top is it's a student by student look at the assignment. So as you start to get assignments submitted to you, you could click on this icon and it will take you to the screen for anyone who has submitted the assignment. You'll be able to see that it's been submitted. This was an assignment where the students had to create something and upload it onto My Big Campus. So they created something. I believe I gave them 2 options or 3 options for doing this. That could create a Word document, a PowerPoint, and so on. So you can see the student's name. If you want to manipulate through and look at other students, you can click on the arrows to go back and forth over here at the top. this download button. If the person has downloaded something, you can download their attachment, or you can open all attachments. I'm not quite sure why you'd want to do that, but you could open up the individual attachment, or you could just simply click on their attachment from here and it would open up. You can see over here to the right there is the student score, the max score. There's a little check mark here showing that it has been scored. You can click on this and cycle through, and I'll explain what that does here a little bit more down here. So if you scroll down, you can see 30 out of 30, 100%. If you click on enter grade, what this will do is it will take you into a screen where you can see that there has been no submissions for this person. So you are showing it as still due, missed, or excused. You can mark that for the individuals that still need to do this. So when I clicked on that button there, enter grade, it took me back to those that I still need to grade. If for whatever reason I decide that, let's say I graded this and this person got a 15 out of 30, then I could click on this allow retake, and it would send them a message saying that they need to resubmit the assignment. So going back to that threshold that we talked about in the first video on creating schoolwork, if they have not met a requirement that you want, then you can allow them to retake it. If I click on comments over here, this is an area where you can submit comments with the grade. So, let's say this person got a 25 out of 30 and you want to explain why they got that 25. You could say you were missing this part, or you did not explain this accurately, or whatever. You can see you still have this very familiar list of options too, that if you wanted to type your comments in a Word document, or if you had a rubric or something that you wanted to attach to this to show why they got this, then you could attach that as well. So a lot of different flexibility and options with being able to leave comments and feedback for the students. That's one of the things that I want to take a minute here to talk about why this is so vital. There's a lot of research that has been done about the effectiveness of immediate feedback and getting feedback as quickly as possible. So being able to do this is very, very beneficial for the student to be able to see. They're usually fairly excited about wanting to see how they've performed on something. Now, obviously, this is an assignment where I needed to read through and grade this manually, so you still have that time component in the way. You obviously would have to make a commitment to being able to grade your work as quickly as possible for the students, and obviously the sooner the better. But to be able to take advantage of, on the Schoolwork tab, as I showed in video 1, the self-grading things where you can create the true false, the multiple choice, and things like that. I know those questions aren't the greatest, and sometimes administrators will tell you to shy away from those types of assessment pieces, but to be able to give those quick checks for understanding, or as I said in the first video, entrance or exit tickets or what have you, for them to be able to take those questions and get that feedback right away, that is so vital, into demonstrating to them, hey, you understand it, or no, you don't, and then it allows you to kind of adjust and adapt from there as to whether or not that student is going to need to have more time reviewing the content before they move forward with something that's a little bit more summative or formal. So again, this whole feedback system that is available through the Schoolwork tab is obviously a key selling point for why you would want to do this on here. So essentially, if we go back here to the original screen, the last thing that I want to show you is another nice feature about this is the awaiting submission. And as I said, I had quite a few students who were built into this that I did not have in computer applications, and then some of these are literally people that did not turn it in. So, this again is a great tool for you if an assignment is due on a Tuesday and, they submit it, you come in Wednesday and you have this list that you can quickly run through, hey, these students have not submitted their assignment, or however you want to deal with that. There is an option too in here where you can can print off individual learning targets and academic reports for individual students. So, if you've got that habitual offender or that student that is missing 3 out of the last 5 assignments, you can print off reports showing them what they're missing. Obviously, a great communication tool for home as well. But this does show you a list of those who are still awaiting to turn work in. So anyway, that's kind of the interface that you have here with this. As you go through, you'll get to be more comfortable with that. Now, I know one of the other things that may be interesting for you guys, and this, as I mentioned in video 1 as well, when I talk about My Big Campus going through changes and trying to adapt and make it more user-friendly for staff, this grades on the gradebook section in here, I believe is something that they're working on, as you can see, coming this summer, and it gives you a little bit of a sense as to what this gradebook will look like on My Big Campus. This may not be something that you'll want to use because you may not want to maintain 2 grade books. I mean, obviously, Power School is going to be our official grade book, but if you're one that's going to jump in with this and want to use it all the time with almost everything that you do, then you may want to keep this on here. The students would get access to this as well, but you just have to make sure that you note that Power School is the end authority on grades, that this would just be kind of a sneak peek or a sample as to maybe what they've got in the class. But the one thing that is important for you to understand and know, and as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, is if you do want to take work that you've done in Power or My Big Campus and export those grades into Power School, that is an option. So real quickly to kind of run through this, and unfortunately I won't be able to show you this all the way through the end just because I am no longer a teacher and I don't have an active grade book in here, but I will kind of take you up to the point where you'll be able to see this. And we do have some documentation. I know Jamie Fowler did an excellent job of putting together a document. It's more like a manual that I'd be more than happy to share with you, and then also to I can obviously work through with you guys as you do this. But essentially what you're going to do is you're going to select your group. Okay, so I would select 7th grade computer applications. You're going to want to select dates from where you're taking your scores from. So I'm going to go back to August of last year, and then end date I'm going to run back to September here. And so once you've set your dates, you'll want to choose this Power School format option. You're going to click the export to .csv, and what this is going to do is it's going to download a Excel file, okay, a comma separated value, and you can see I had 2 different assignments in here that were eligible to be exported into Power School. Now remember, I used the old format when I created my schoolwork, and those were the only 2 that met that criteria that I talked about. Using the new interface, as long as you have it selected as a graded option, I believe it should export those scores in there. So essentially you'll see the assignment up here at the top, this student ID number. If you need to get rid of anything else that's in here, you can kind of trim this up and get it ready. But now that you've got this, you'll want to save it into your H drive. So you'll just want to save it somewhere. Go to your documents if you've got a file folder, or grades, or 2014-15 school year or whatever. But save it in a place where you know where it is, because you're going to need to refer back to this. So once you go into Power School, you will have to obviously create the assignment like you normally would. You can see I've created one here called Sample PD Assignment. Once you have created the assignment for the class, you're going to right click and click on import scores, and when you do that, it will prompt you to select that CSV list in there. You'll do that, and then this is the part unfortunately that I really can't show you, but what will happen is once you select that and click open, a box will come up here on Power School, and there's a couple of options that you'll need to make sure that you check on, and this is directly from the document that Jamie Fowler put together on export supporting grades. And again, I will share this with the group. But down here at the bottom is what you're going to want to look through. There's you'll need to make sure that you click on a couple of check boxes to take them off. So as it says, be sure to uncheck boxes next to include first row and validate student names. And this is that box that will open that I was talking about, and those check boxes are down here at the bottom that you'll need to click on and turn those off. Once you'll do that, you'll simply just follow through the rest of the directions, and the scores should import into your gradebook on PowerSchool. So kind of saving you some time as opposed to having to grade them on My Big Campus, open up your gradebook and manually enter in all the scores. That should be one thing that saves you some time with that. So again, having gone through that, hopefully that's a quick overview of what you to look for here on My Big Campus. Again, as I talked about, big benefits, immediate feedback, even if it's something that you have to grade manually. I think it's a great opportunity to provide some feedback to the students and getting them excited about using this format for submitting schoolwork, and then ultimately receiving their feedback, and then the grading component to it as well. So as you do this the first couple times, obviously you're probably going to have some questions. Please feel free to contact me with that, but that now gives you a complete overview in 2 videos of what the Schoolwork tab can do for you on My Big Campus.